you so much for training our team today, bro. So I have a couple of questions for you. Like, you've been training our team for like 3 years. I don't know, a lot of events. Like, you train like a lot of organizations all around the world. So what are some things that you notice in our business?
Two things. Number one, professionalism, and number two, longevity. And I think, the most important thing inside of business is like, don't show me what you can make in a year, show me what you can make in 10 years. And so many people are in this transactional mindset in business where it's like, I'm gonna come in and make the most money and then, leave and then go do this. And like, the point in business is to stay in business.
Right.
Like, the person that wins in business is the person that stays in business. That's the point of business. How long can I stay in business? And I think professionalism is the second thing. I think with maturity also comes with also understanding it's not how much you can make, it's also how much you can hold. It's not how many people you can prospect, it's how many people can stay on your team. And that comes with not understanding that success is about just acquiring, it's also about like what you don't do to become successful, right? Like, when I see professionalism and maturity inside of a team, it's what people won't do with their commissions. It's not whether or not you'll make commissions, because every single year that I train them, they can make more commissions and more money. It's what you don't do with your commissions that make you successful. It's what you don't do as an individual that makes you successful, and that what keeps you in the business for a while. And with maturity and professionalism, you start to understand these disciplinary factors where the people inside your business start to understand that what keeps you in a business for a while is ethics, morals, and words. I think the only thing that shows that is time and longevity. Ethics and morals is what keeps a business for a lifetime. And the reason why we had this conversation is because I went up to him and I said, what's interesting about your organization is that the people that I met 3 years ago are still the people in the front of the row. Every single time, and the second line of the row and the third line of the row. I'm very observative. Of course, there's new people coming into business, but also the first event had half the amount of people that you guys have right now. So not only is it the same people, it continues, grows off the great foundation. So what that means is that you guys built your business off core values that maybe you know or you don't know, but there's a fundamental core business values that keep your business held on for a lifetime, which I think you guys did a good job of. And there's a lot of respect, and that's what keeps a business for a while is respect. Outside of business. Maybe it's just an Italian thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. Because I'm a very non-typical network marketer. Because I've been in network marketing for 9 years, but it was my first company. And I go to a lot of events. You train all the best organizations in the world, and if you look at all the top people in all the organization, they average change 2 to 3 companies in the course of 10 years, right? Like most right? So here is this is my first company. I'm still here, and Arturo was mine 8 years ago, and it's still here, right? So the longevity for me is really, really important. In business, it's very rare to find a network marketing company where you can build for 20 years with the same people. That's what I really like about this.
Yeah, and it's just going back to you guys have a great problem, and no matter what people want to say, it's like you're in network marketing and you have a product beside you. People will stay for a lifetime if the product's freaking great, right? It's unfortunate, but a lot of people, sell whatever they can get their hands on, and again, it's a transactional mindset, not thinking about that your whole business is built on people, and people gotta have good products, and those customers will stay for you for a lifetime. So it's not like you don't want somebody to just pay for you for a year or stay on the product for a year. You want somebody that when you're selling such a great product turns into a raving fan. That's the way you stay in business, is that the people that you sell do the sales for you after. A lot of people don't understand that it's like the dumb person is always going out there trying to sell. The smart person says, how do I sell somebody once? And whether or not they become part of my team and want to sell for me, naturally, how does this person love the product so much that they just become a raving fan and refer people into my business regardless of what it is, right? You can only promote yourself so heavily, and I think that's what makes people in business for a while, when their customers turn into fans and their customers just don't stay as product users. And you guys don't even know that you have this effect, but your customers are fans.
For some people, even if they're not having results in the business, they love the product and the community so much that they keep staying around.
Correct.
And then eventually they can turn into business. And I think also another thing that really difference is that, a typical network market, if you build and you quit, you always have to restart from the beginning, you lose your brand. Like in this company, you don't. So it allows you to even come back and leave, and then you always keep what you built before. So we have a lot of people that do that. They go back to their job, and 10 years later they come back, and then they take a break, and then they come back, and they still can grow their business instead of restarting from the beginning.
Right. So there's a building block going into the next one.
Yeah. Low ticket sales and high ticket sales, and why someone should pick high ticket sales versus low ticket sales.
I mean, it's just a perception. People are people. there's always going to be somebody who's shopping at cheap product, and there's always going to be somebody wanting quality. So it comes to price, it comes to quality. People don't buy price. They buy what quality that they want. Like nobody's buying a price tag. There's a difference as the person selling, because the person that doesn't know how to sell high ticket, they always think people are buying a price tag. When in reality, when you come down to it, people are buying an outcome and a result. And quality, they're not buying a price tag. If something on your product, right, is worth more than what somebody's buying, the perceived value is higher than the cost. When I made that example with the watch, they no longer buy a price tag, they buy the perceived value and the outcome of what's happening, right? So it's like, if I'm selling high ticket coaching and training and it's worth $500,000, all right guys, go sell my training for $500,000. Oh, but then man, it's so much money, you think people are gonna buy it? And I said, they're not buying, they don't care about $500,000. What do you mean? I said, yeah, they don't care about it. If a company has a budget of $5-10 million of revenue every single year, their income's $5-10 million a year, they don't care to spend $500,000. And by the way, it's only as easy as you tell yourself, number one, that's what I was saying on stage. The second thing is, I'm like, yeah, if you just talk to a business owner and you ask the business owner, well, hey, how many people do you have on your team? Well, Daniel, I have 10,000 people. Okay. How much is every sale? $5,000. Okay. If we could just get 10% of those people, out of those 100% of those 10,000 people, we could just get 1,000 people selling an extra machine every single month, and that's 1,000 times $5,000. How much is that in revenue? That's $500,000 a month. Times that by 12, you're now at $6 million a year. The $500,000 doesn't matter anymore. When I put into that thing, I'm like, you're buying the 10% of people getting trained to sell one extra machine, which is $500,000. Now the $500,000 that I'm charging you for training is small. So the first thing is people have to learn how to build the value against the cost, or it's always gonna become a conversation of cost. And that's never what sales is. I think a bad sales representative always puts the focus on when you get paid. Why don't you have the money for something like this? That's a problem that you don't have the money. Rather than saying, wait, I showed them wrong, because if I show them that this is worth $5 million, people will go find the money. If there was high enough urgency and high enough value, people want to go find the value. If the pain's high enough and the value's high enough, because by the way, it's both. Where people are like, people buy out pain, and somebody's like, people buy out pleasure. Dude, it's both. It's both. Wants and needs inside of life. Like, you buy out pain and you buy out pleasure. Right? Yes, you could probably get somebody moving, itching somebody with pain, right? And then you move it obviously towards more pleasurable, desired outcomes. But in the beginning sale, it's like you have to do both. I think as a sales rep, build the urgency of pain, and the fear that they're gonna miss out something. How do you build urgency with high ticket? The only way you build urgency is that people feel like they're gonna miss out on something. And how do you do that? By asking questions. You ask better questions, you build a sense of urgency. Because what's the difference between pressure and urgency? So when you're asking me, high ticket sales. But when somebody doesn't know how to sell a high ticket product, they're pressuring somebody to buy something. Hey, you should buy this because there's going to be a discount. Okay, that's telling somebody. But any great sales representative understands anything that can be told can be asked in the form of a question. Any single thing that you tell somebody to do, a smart salesperson can ask it in the form of a question.
And they will do the work.
And they'll do the work because urgency is self-generated. Pressure is a conflict of internal values. Hey, go do something like this because we have an action-based discount with pricing, right? Conflict of internal values. Somebody's telling me what to go do. Urgency is self-generated. Hey, by the way, completely understand that you don't want to buy today. And honestly, if you felt a big enough urge to buy something in your life or do something in your life, you would have already changed. But let me ask you a question. If you don't change today and nothing happens in the next 6 months, which by the way, this might not be the right thing for you to pull the trigger on right now. What's plan B that you have in place? That way you can get the results that you said that you wanted in the beginning of the conversation. What's plan B? I kind of just want to better understand so we're on the same track. So regardless if you buy from us today or you onboard with somebody else, at least you have a plan of attack in place. Number one, what did I do? First of all, I didn't make my product biased. If anybody's watching this, I just removed my product from the picture. Because the majority of salespeople hold their product here. Well, if you don't buy from us today, what's gonna happen? Their product's still here, it's still biased. If you watch, I removed my product and I said, hey, by the way, forget about us for a second. Even if you don't do something, regardless if it's with us or somebody else that offers something similar, if you don't do something, plan B or whatever the case is, you remove the product, forget about us for a second, right? And the second thing was, just asking a question that can make the fear of missing out on something. That's why people buy.
Because the product is just a vehicle for them to achieve the result they want. And that doesn't even matter. Because if they believe that you're going to help them achieve that result, it doesn't even matter what vehicle they're going to use as long as they get there.
Correct.
So then you can sell a high ticket look, it doesn't even matter if you're good at that, right?
Right. People are willing to pay when they see that outcome is going to be more than the price. That's it, that they're spending. When perceived value suffocates price. It's when people buy. Perception of value. It's like if you were to go get that BMW that you're driving right now for $1,000, everybody's gonna go buy a BMW for $1,000.
Yeah.
Because they know it's perceived value is $45,000.
You know what? That would be the explanation of why people buy Louis Vuitton and they buy the same exact purse with an even better leather for like $50. They're not getting the same quality.
Yes.
But they're not buying logically. They're buying the feeling that you have when you buy the Louis Vuitton.
Yes.
And then the price doesn't even matter.
Perceived
Because
value.
as long as you feel that way when you wear it, with the other one you don't. So it doesn't matter the price.
It's like you might perceive to value the Louis Vuitton more than I do. I don't feel any different maybe if I wear it, but maybe you do. You know, I don't feel different, right? So, and that's just the point of, I think, again, every great salesperson understands what's important to somebody else. Everybody ticks a little bit differently. It's not one size fits all. You see the perception of value on it.
Thank you, bro.
So it's fun.